Welcome to Both Sides of the Coin, joined by Adam Gold. We're going to talk about some controversial topics. May disagree, may fight. Adam will be nasty. I'll be more politically correct. But political correctness doesn't matter here. And we'll walk out friends. But most of all, JB Ellis will be right. Don't forget the lessons here. JB right, sideline sports hat. JB Ellis right, cowboy hat wrong.
Opposite day.
So let's start off with probably one of the biggest problems I have in sports right now.
You're not gonna say hi to me? I'm you know what? I'm gonna be offended now. I'm offended. You don't even say hi to me. I didn't even get to talk to you before the show.
I know.
And you don't
Listen,
even say on the show.
We've had more production issues. I got locked out of StreamYard somehow. I don't know how. Thank God Eric was, just finishing up his show. He got me in.
That's because
you were running late.
You're always
because,
wrong.
Never wrong.
The website realized how wrong you are. So it's
Sideline Sports. Look. See what? Look at the hat.
Only see the shininess. Oh my God, it's so shiny.
Look at the great hat. Everyone should be wearing them. We should be selling them $100 a pop with a little JB Ellis across the top.
Pay that.
So anyway, let's get to what we're here to talk about. A lot going on in sports. So let's start with my biggest gripe going right now. People making excuses. The other day, and if Jay's watching, I know Jay always watches. James, what's going on? Brian Cashman, the Yankees GM, said,
"That's
the reason
from God, I was wondering
the reason hasn't the Yankees haven't won a World Series is because the Astros cheating. Maybe just play better baseball. I don't know. Call me crazy. Maybe stay healthy, hit the playoffs.
Don't pay Giancarlo Stanton, who plays 50 games a year, $400 million. Just thought.
I don't know.
I mean, that wasn't a decision either.
Call me crazy. That was the Astros, right? They're the ones that made them get Stanton.
Yeah, totally.
I figured, Judge maybe could stay healthy for a full season.
Listen, you said you didn't want to bring up old topics when we were going through topics for today, but this is just another symptom of what's going on in the culture of sports, and I'm gonna circle back, a little reference there to where we first talked about this, and when I was talking about Simone Biles, and not that I think
pause is power.
What's that?
Pause is power.
Well, not that we've been through how I feel about her. My issue wasn't necessarily that she left in the middle. Well, I do think that was extremely poor timing. She should have just not shown up if there was issues. And the fact that she did it in the middle, I think, was a bit of a cop-out. But my issue is the praise that went along with it. And how
she's getting paid for it.
That's what you should over to my side, realizing I was right.
No, I have no problem with her if she needs time.
But
take time. But once you take money for it, no.
The problem is that because she did it, now it's trendy. Now you get paid when you quit. Now quitting and sounding like a victim is the cool thing to do. And therefore, everybody, right? So this is what I'm trying to say, is that when she quit, stop praising it. It's not a good thing.
I'm not praising it. I don't sit there and say.
When you're saying this is like, winners don't quit on their team. They don't quit. She's not a winner. I'm sorry. She's not. She isn't. Part of being a winner is having a killer instinct, is having that Kobe Bryant Mamba instinct that I'm going to take this ball. I want the last shot. I'm going to win. LeBron doesn't have it. Kobe did. LeBron doesn't have it. Michael Jordan did. That's just the way it is.
How does LeBron sit out a must-win game?
Because he doesn't have that instinct.
How do you do that? Anyone that says he is the greatest player of all time?
Not the greatest player. Top 5, maybe, but that's besides the point. My point is that he doesn't have the killer instinct. Simone Biles doesn't have that killer instinct. They don't.
So who in sports today has the killer instinct?
Tom Brady.
I was going to say him. Besides him, give me a top 3 killer instinct.
That's tough. Let's see. Tom Brady's definitely one. Someone that just popped into my head, and not that he is the best, but the confidence that he has, I'm going to say Russell Wilson. I think he's in that category of, he made the mistake. He threw that interception on the goal line, but he wanted the ball in his hands, is my point, right? And the game, the season, the career, everything's on the line. He was confident to have the ball. And there's
nothing wrong with failing. As long as you show up and give it your all, that's fine.
Right. But that's what we're great. That's what we're talking about. That killer. That's the killer instinct of, I want the ball in my hands. Even if I fail on the most important moment, I'm not going to hand it off to somebody else. I'm going to go for it. So that's an example of the killer instinct where it went, it didn't turn out right, but that's still what I'm talking about. Who else? I'm trying to think of another sport besides football. I don't know who would have it in basketball right now. I don't think Durant has it.
No.
You can maybe. No, I don't think Curry has it.
Listen, Durant can't have it if you have fake Twitter accounts to go after people that go after you.
I know.
You don't have a killer instinct.
I know.
If he would have done it under himself, yes.
I don't think Giannis has it either. Not that he doesn't have, Durant doesn't have it.
I think I'm going to say Giannis, yes, because Giannis, he doesn't fraternize with guys. He doesn't care about being friends. He wants to win.
The last shot, you need to make it. He has the ball in his hands. He's taken over the game. He's more of a overall dominating force that just wins the game through attrition than he is like that Michael Jordan.
But he has that attitude that I don't care, I want to win. So I'm going to give it to him.
He's not the score. He's not the quarterback. He's not the score. He's more of the all-star, all-around player. He's not the game-winning shot Kobe Bryant superstar, Michael Jordan winning shot superstar. That's what I'm trying to say.
Definitely agree with Tatum here. Devin Booker definitely has it.
He has to win first. He hasn't played in anything.
You don't necessarily have to win. You just have to. We're talking about who displays it. We're not talking about being the best overall right now.
But what did he play in that he put that on display? Is what I'm saying.
63 wins.
But that's not the most important one. You have to do it in the most important one.
No. Not everyone gets a chance to get to the most important one.
Okay, but that doesn't, we're not putting Dan Marino in this conversation because of that.
We're talking about guys who play now, so Dan Marino played it right now.
No, you can't put Devin Booker in that category. He hasn't played in any meaningful game yet.
I disagree with you. I got to go with James on that one. Devin Booker takes over games.
Taking over a game is different from taking over.
No, not game. Not game. Games.
But that's not the game. That's not the game. The game. The game.
Devin Booker's there for me. Go ahead.
Okay.
Give me somebody in baseball.
There for you. Doesn't mean anything.
Give me somebody in baseball. That's a tough sport.
Baseball, I think it has to be a pitcher, right? I don't know if a hitter. I mean, I guess a hitter could have it, but it's just different, right? I don't.
If you're gonna go hitter that plays right now, it's tough. I can't think anyone off the top of my head.
You would put Trout in this category. I can't. He hasn't won anything.
No, Trout.
But games. I would. Games.
He hasn't played any more games. Look. James Tatum's dying to come on the show right now.
Throw your own argument in your face 3 seconds later.
No.
And then you actually agree with what I just said.
No.
3 seconds ago.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No. Yeah. Anyway, moving along.
Pitcher.
As usual.
Who is that?
Scherzer.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I actually give him a little bit of a pass because I legitimately this is what I'm saying. He's the type of guy, I don't think he's taking himself out last year unless he's legitimately hurt because he was pitching his butt off over and over and over again. He was clearly tired, and he's confident enough in his own stuff to say, look, I don't have my best stuff right now. There is somebody who will be better because my arm is tired. Like, that's different. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's the difference between Simone Biles and him, right? That's somebody who's like, we're going to lose if I'll go out there. I don't have a problem with that. I don't care if I get hurt even. That doesn't even matter to me. I don't care about that. I know we're going to lose because my stuff is not there. And you can see when he's out there, he didn't have his A stuff. And on top of it, he still went back out there. He still was ready to go.
So okay, how old are you?
Old enough to know that you're wrong about a lot of things.
How old are you?
What does that matter?
Because I want to ask a question. So
35.
35? So since 1990.
I'm not 35. I said 45.
I know, 35. So
45.
since 1990.
Thank you.
Whatever. Since 1990, what hitter in baseball has probably the best killer instinct?
I think
Only one answer I'm accepting on this one.
the name that comes into my head is Pujols.
It's an okay choice. That's another great. This is another very good choice. But I'm going to say Derek Jeter did it all.
Oh,
Flip. Was not the most talented person. Was not the most talented guy on the field.
No.
When a play needed to be made, he made the play.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So wait, let's go back to your argument. He played in the game, right? How many World Series he won?
But he wasn't the reason that they won the World Series. If you want to make an argument for a Yankee, go with Mo, even though he blew one.
I'm talking about hitters, though. We're talking about hitters, not pitchers right now. Jeter did whatever was necessary. That's a killer instinct.
But he didn't
do what you got to do.
You're making the argument as a fielder.
Not a fielder. How many hits did he have in the playoffs? He wasn't a power hitter, but he was money. Whatever was needed to win, he did. That's killer instinct.
What's the
he
big
didn't accept losing?
What's the big hit? What's the hit?
Not one, many.
Right. You're going the same argument. If anything, like in that series, the 0-1 series, you have the Tito hit in Game 4, the home run to send it into extras. I don't know. I definitely, it's definitely not Jeter.
I don't disagree with you.
He doesn't have that. I mean, the moment I think of when I think of Jeter is in the field. And if you want to make that argument, that I think has some merit. As a hitter,
of course, he did everything. Killer instinct. There was nothing above him. He made sure whatever he could do to leave that field with the win, he did it. That's what I'm talking about by killer instinct.
I just think
all around game.
I just think that you need, like, when you're that player, you need to have that hit. You need to. It's offensive too, and I just don't think he has that offensive moment of taking the game over, hitting the home run, hitting the game-winning walk-off RBI. I just don't think he has that moment. I'm just trying. If I'm wrong, there's so much of his career. I don't. He does not come to my mind. If anything, it's Mo.
That's a pitcher. We're not talking pitching. There's no question Mo was lights out of the postseason.
Except for 1 year.
Nobody's perfect. I know guys wish they could get to the postseason as much as Mo did.
I don't disagree. I think it's important to know that it's still.
Oh yeah, listen. Everybody can fail.
But I overall I agree with you. To me, if there's one guy you're handing the ball to with the game on the line and having no worry, it's Mo. So.
And he had one pitch, really. One pitch. A fastball.
That wasn't really a fastball. That was a slider. That was a fastball. Let's be real here.
It's just amazing to take one pitch and he was that dominant. There was no question what was coming.
Think about this too. Like I always talk about, he wasn't a Red Sox great, but he was a good closer for a while. Jonathan Papelbon.
Yes,
He
it was.
only threw one pitch, and that was a fastball to both sides of the plate. But he spotted it over and over and over and over again. He had control, like Greg Maddux, another perfect example. Greg Maddux wasn't blowing anything by you, but the control.
Great answer. David Ortiz.
It's another good answer, too.
I can't argue that with David Ortiz had killer instinct. I
think
like Big Poppy.
Combo, though, because I was thinking that, too, but I still think it's the combo of Manny and Ortiz. Because
Manny was another guy that did work.
I think it was the two of them though. Like they both knew that if
we're not saying
get it, the other.
But we're not talking about who has the most killer instinct. I'm not saying, that's the greatest guy ever. We're talking about who has killer instinct. Manny and Ortiz both do.
Yeah.
Listen,
But again, those are hitters, right? They're not fielders. Like that's kind of where I'm going. Like killer instinct to me in baseball, fielding matters less. It just does because to me the killer instinct is
it's knowing what you need to do to win the game, whatever is necessary. And you see, you're limiting what you're talking to one side. It's not one side because if he didn't make the flip play, they're going to lose that series to Oakland. Countless hits. It may not have been home runs.
When I think killer instinct, I think Kobe, Michael Jordan. I think guys who, when the game's on the line, Tom Brady, the game's on the line, you need a last-second home run, a last-second shot, a last-second touchdown, whatever it is. Who do you want on the field? Who's got that mentality of, I'm going to take over this game right here, right now, no matter what. You know what I'm going to do, and I'm still going to win this game. Mariano Rivera, another one. You knew what he was going to do. Didn't matter. Come in, still win the game. That's not Derek Jeter. That's not his game. His game was, like you said, grit, which I think is kind of where you're getting the killer instinct in. But he was not the game on the line type of guy you want up in. Not that you don't want him up, but that the same way Mo's coming in, game's over.
So in '96, right? First World Series of that great team. 61 at bats, 22 hits, 3 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs, hitting at the top of the lineup.
You can throw stats out for LeBron too. LeBron has all
361. But he did other things. LeBron doesn't.
It's not about stats. It's about game on the line. You need something to win. That's offensive. It's not defensive.
Yeah, I disagree with you.
You can disagree.
308 average in the postseason. 308.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter?
It doesn't.
You're facing the best pitchers on the highest stage in the Bronx, the stadium.
Okay.
The hardest place in baseball to play.
Okay.
Wow.
That's not killer instinct, though. That's clutch. You can say it's clutch.
Nah.
I just I don't put him in with game on the line. You need a home run. You need a double. You need a walk-off hit. You need the strikeout. You need the out. I'm not hating.
You're 100% wrong on this one. There's no coming back from this one.
Okay.
Name anyone else of the Yankee fielders that was through that whole run that had more killer instinct than Jeter.
Fielding wise, that's not
fielding. I'm not talking about fielding. I'm just saying out of the 8 position players minus the pitchers, who that was with that run was more killer instinct than Derek Jeter.
I don't know. That's not
about. You didn't say Bernie Williams. Bernie Williams did it. Posada was garbage.
I didn't say he wasn't clutch. That's not what I said. That's not what I said at all. That's not what I said.
All right, this may be the best line of the night, though.
That's why I said that's not what I'm saying.
Uh,
I'm saying game on the line, last minute. He doesn't have that moment where he has the home run, the base hit. Like, that's what I'm saying. Mariano Rivera has tons of those moments. Tom Brady has tons of those moments. Michael Jordan has tons of those moments. Kobe Bryant has tons of those moments where they are a ball in hand, they need a shot, championship on the line, and they go and get it. That's what I'm. Does he have that moment?
He won how many World Series? Hit 308. First postseason, 22 hits and 61 at bats. That you gotta be.
I asked you a specific question. You're like 308, 202, 97. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. Where's the moment? What's the moment?
Body of work.
That's the LeBron James argument.
Big difference. LeBron James lost how many finals? Okay. LeBron James, when the game's on the line, when the team needs to try and make it to the playoffs, where is he? He's on the bench.
I agree with you. I agree.
So it's not the same argument because LeBron gets disqualified for other reasons.
Okay, but that's the first argument they always go to, saying he's the greatest of all time, is the stats argument. That does not prove killer instinct. Stats doesn't.
Of course not. But that's
so stop saying that. I don't care about them.
Anyway, you're wrong. You're wrong.
I'm trying to think of baseball pitchers. I feel like there's something I'm forgetting.
Pitchers are easier though because you control the game.
Yeah.
Hitters only get in a game where your team scores a lot of runs. If you get 6 at bats, that's a lot of at bats.
Yeah, but still, game on the line. You need the base hit to win. Who has that consistent over and over game-winning walk-off hit, home run? Like I think about the Albert Pujols moonshot in Houston in the NLCS where he hit 600 feet.
Yeah, Pujols was phenomenal in his day. I mean, once he came to the AL, he was a different player. He was injured.
Yeah, we're talking pre-30s when he was probably on HGH and stuff like that. They were all crap. Let's be real here.
Listen, it wasn't illegal for baseball players to use that stuff. So, and everybody was doing it. Why would you not want to? You want to make your money. I'm not saying I would do it, but I understand the argument of why.
It was a Bud Selig problem who gets no blame consistently. Gets zero blame. He was more than happy to take it after the strike because ratings were going up. And then you realize, public doesn't like this. Bad.
If it wasn't for McGuire and Sosa,
baseball would be
no baseball.
I mean, there would be baseball, but it would be like hockey.
Yeah. Exactly. It was bad. So, I get it.
I hate Bud Selig. And the fact that he's in the Hall of Fame and Barry Bonds isn't just really
the sad thing is Bonds has 2 different careers. He has his career in Pittsburgh before anything. He was one of the best players in the game.
Right.
Then he has his career later on in San Francisco.
Look at his stats. It's funny. So I did this too. I look at his stats, right? And from like when he was a kid up until, even the beginning of San Francisco, like his stats were all 40 home runs, 100 and some RBIs, right?
Yep.
In the beginning, it was leading the major league in home runs, leading in RBIs, and then all of a sudden it's mid 90s, late 90s, and he's hitting similar stats, but he's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th in the league. And it's like, what would you do then?
Exactly. It's a lot of money he would have left on the table.
Like, everybody else was doing it. The league was allowing it. And then, which I think is still the dirtiest of dirty, the league does a private testing and then lets it leak out. Like, what is that crap? Like, to me, the Mitchell Report was the biggest joke of all time. You're stealing confidential information that they did in confidence that was not going to be leaked out and then ruin people's reputation over it.
It was pretty bad.
that to me is it. That was did not sit well with me. I ever disliked the owners and MLB, and I that stuff is that's not okay with me. It's just not. It's just not. You promote it, you allow it, and like.
All right. Yeah.
What?
No. So
why you cut me off?
When you look at guys from that era, right? So we talk about Bonds, who obviously we both agree should be in the Hall of Fame. Then you go on the other side, biggest jokes in the history of baseball. Jose Canseco.
I mean, the ball head and went over to the fence for a home run.
How he just let his whole persona go to what he's become.
Rob Manfred. Those are two of the biggest jokes.
Rob Manfred's an idiot.
That's an insult to idiots everywhere.
I am not a Manfred fan. I think we should have a pitch clock. I think we should have runners. We should start every inning with the bases loaded so we can increase offense.
Listen, regular season stuff, I'm okay if you want to tinker with a little bit. I don't like it, but whatever. Like, I can live with that stuff. It's the postseason that really, really just gets under my skin. That's where you need pure baseball. And Roger Goodell is definitely not worse than Manfred. Manfred is definitely worse than Roger Goodell. And I hate Roger Goodell. But Manfred is worse. Manfred, he is clueless. Like, Goodell is bad, but he knows what he's doing.
And Goodell knows how to market.
He's a conniving F, but he knows what he's doing.
Yep.
So you have to respect that. You hate it, but you have to respect that he's smart and knows what he's doing. You can't discount that. Manfred is a legit moron. He literally is dumb as rocks. And on top of that, he's terrible at his job. So he's definitely worse. He might be one of the worst commissioners of any sport ever. It's up there. When he held that press conference that they were delaying games and he's sitting there smiling, laughing, and like, what are you doing? What? Like, what? Why are you having a good time giving a news conference that the season's not starting? Maybe you should look a little better than that. Anyway, there was something we were talking about and I forget.
Wow. Tyler, I used to like you, Tyler. You're up. But way to use the show name in your comment, I like it.
No, I was going to say, overall, in his career, Jeter defensively was...
He wasn't a good defender.
He's
average.
At best.
Yeah. That's what I mean. He went above what he was. That's kind of like the killer instinct.
Hitter.
He was a 308 hitter in the playoffs. He's not that good of a hitter.
That's not the moment. Where's the moment? He has the moment in fielding. I agree with you there.
As a guy who went to over 20 playoff games from 96 to 2000, trust me, he got countless key hits.
Okay.
All those hits were with
where are they?
Hits in the playoffs from 96 on.
Game winning.
I remember everything.
You don't remember that?
Listen, no, because I was spoiled. I won how many World Series after 96? When you keep winning.
How many championships? 7 years?
How many World Series do the Red Sox have since 2000?
What?
How many World Series do you guys have up in Boston since 2000?
First of all, I'm not in Boston, but 4?
Well, okay, we had that from 96 to 2000. So understand, I'm a little spoiled.
Okay, and Michael Jordan won 6 from 90.
Right, and if you were a Bulls fan, you'd be a little spoiled.
Right, you'd remember like 800,000 game-winning shots. On. Because it's every night.
Oh, what? You would have. It become commonplace. The more something happens, the more common it is. It's like, okay, big deal.
Right. That doesn't make sense at all. But I'm just gonna nod my head and say, okay.
Listen, when you're a Red Sox fan, you don't understand. You're not used to winning. I get it.
When was
that's
the last?
Why Everything is big.
When was the last time the Yankees won a World Series?
We're not winning one this year, so it doesn't matter.
Has it been in the last 2 decades?
It doesn't. We're not winning one this year either, so don't worry about it. Enjoy your little run that you've won a couple before we have, and it's okay.
Okay.
As long as we have Garrett Cole as our ace, we will do nothing. Trust me.
Well, you have Cashman as your GM, you're going to do nothing.
Cashman's been around for a while, and
Exactly.
It's not him. It's
World Series have you won since?
since Cashman, we've won a few.
I'm talking the last 2 decades.
And since 1927, how many we won? So that's irrelevant.
Oh, got it.
The most
you
winningest franchise in sports.
You bashed
don't disparage.
and then you use the same one. That must make you feel good inside.
Don't disparage the greatest winning franchise in sports.
I love how you hold a straight face.
I got through the 80s.
I'm going to say something so that they don't hear what I'm really saying.
I got through the 80s. I can get through the stretch. I'm good. The winningest team in the 80s, that was the argument then.
Ugh.
We had the most wins of any team in baseball in the 1980s.
Ugh. Okay. Wow.
So
that must be something to really hold your hat on.
just remember, it's all the Astros' fault why we have not won a World Series.
Yes.
That was the worst argument in the history of sports. No, play better. Not making excuses.
Anyways, I think we've bashed this topic to death.
Yes.
Gotta keep it short. I could go on for hours. I gotta keep it short. I have too much tax work to do.
Bobby's called to do tax work. I understand.
Listen,
you got to make money. I get it.
You're, in far enough for the rest of this night, so we can move on.
When it's all said and done, the Yankees aren't winning the World Series this year. The Red Sox have a better shot.
They're not winning. Freaking Chris
I didn't say you guys were winning it, but
I mean, look, it's ridiculous. It's so disappointing that Chris Sale can't stay healthy. It's like, dude, literally, you've pitched 10 games in the last 3 years. Like, what the heck?
Some guys they go through that thing where they can't stay healthy. It's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I actually think the Blue Jays can win a division. I think they're that good.
Blue Jays have a fun team to watch. I like them.
They're that good. You know who else I think is actually going to be really good this year? People are really flying on the radar. I think the Phillies are going to be good.
Phillies are going to be a good team. Question for you real quick before we go, because I know you're big into cards. People don't know that. I just let it out there. So the 3 big rookies, you got the guy in Seattle, Julio Rodriguez.
Yep.
Bobby Witt Jr.
Yep.
Who's the third one off the top of my head? I forgot. That's coming up this year. Rodriguez, Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt and J-Rod are the 2 big ones.
There was a third really big one. I'll say Adley Rutschman. No, not him. There was another guy I brought up last night. Adley Rutschman is probably the 4th best. So who do you think has? Oh, Spencer Torkelson, Detroit.
Oh, Torque, yeah.
He made the roster.
He's not a top prospect. He is, but he's not the top 3. I think number 3 is. It was Luciano. He dropped.
Yeah, I mean his cards went wild. That's why I'm saying putting him up there because I'm doing it as a cards thing.
Yeah. No, I'm big on J-Rod. I just sold a J-Rod, so I bought a blue PSA 10 J-Rod for like half of what I sold it for 10 weeks ago. End of January. I doubled my money on it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very large investment, and I doubled my money in 10 weeks. 10 weeks.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll accept my payment in cash.
You did nothing.
He's the next. Made it all possible.
I think Bobby Witt. Is, I think he's better than who I'm about to say, but card value wise, I think he's Whit Merrifield 2.0.
Okay.
I just do. He's in Kansas City, and he strikes out a lot. And I think he's hot right now. He's the trendy pick. Does he have 40-40 potential? Of course. But in Kansas City, he's going to have no protection. And he's young. And he strikes out a lot. J-Rod, I think their team is a little bit better. I actually think he's a better overall hitter. He doesn't strike out as much. He walks a lot. I think he's the next Soto Acuna type player that, steals 20, 30 bases, hits 20, 30 home runs, hits 300, OPS close to 1,000 consistently each year. His style of game doesn't get him hurt. He's an outfielder, but he's not like a, running, making, diving catches. He has a above average arm, so I think he's the next big stud. I really, really do.
I think baseball is really not doing what they need to do. There are a lot of young stars in this game. Market them. Get out in front of it. That's the one thing the NBA, the NFL does. I'll leave you guys on that note. I know the names because, I like to get the Bowman draft cards, so I've heard about a lot of these guys. I see what the prices of some of the cards are going for. So that's how I know who these guys are, but there's no marketing. I mean, if you didn't know anything,
you'd be really surprised.
What happened?
I said you'd be really surprised with the card values because the big specs, they go for big money.
Last year, I told you I was at a break. I wanted to get the Tigers for Torkelson, and I never bought the Tigers. They was always the most expensive. Just missed it by a second. They pulled a 1-of-1 autographed Torkelson. It was worth $10,000 at that point. That was before it got graded. I was sick for a few days. That's before he even made the big league. So
it's the way it is. It's the way it is. I think he's going to struggle a little bit this year too, though. He struggled
last year to start.
He strikes out too much. He's going to be good. I don't think he's going to. I think J-Rod's going to be the best of the three. I
think they rushed Torkelson up a little too quick. That's my opinion on that one.
Yeah.
J-Rod and Witt had a couple of years, and Witt was
last
COVID year.
He's just ready.
Yeah, I think Witt though
the other day.
What happened?
Did you see the home run that he hit the other day?
No.
Freaking 430 feet right center field.
Nice.
Opposite bomb. Like just absolute bomb. And it wasn't one of those fly balls. It was a
just like tomorrow afternoon we're gonna get some baseball. No Yankees, Red Sox, they got rained out.
I know.
The day before. So we gotta wait for Friday.
Baseball and then in the East Coast, in the upper East Coast tomorrow either. It's gonna be a crap show tomorrow.
Yep. And don't worry, Friday I'm going to Wrigley and it's supposed to snow.
That's
so great start to my baseball season. The Yankees get rained out to start the season. Going to Wrigley on Friday in the snow. Can it get any better than that?
Yeah, it's only April, so we'll see how it goes.
Right, well, this was another great episode. Next time, maybe we could start our time, not get locked out of StreamYard.
Well, next week we're off because next week is I'm trying to not kill myself.
We're every other week. We did 2 weeks in a row, so we can reset the schedule.
Yeah, we did shorter shows too. So we'll be back on the 20th. Tax season will be over, which thank God. You need help with your taxes? Let me know. I'm probably going to have to extend you because I am inundated. But let me know either way. JB, where can we find you?
JB_ the program on Twitter, Sideline Sports. We got shows 7 nights a week. Make sure you're watching. Sideline Sports on Tuesday nights. In the Huddle Wednesday on the South Florida Tribune. And pretty much everywhere Sideline Sports is.
Yeah.
You?
Nice. Adam Goldstein, CPA.com. You got taxes, sports card questions. I'm here. Give me a call. Give me a shout out. Golds_cards is my IG. Give me a follow. Other than that, have a great week, guys. Have a great 2 weeks. We'll see you in 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll find something else to yell and scream at each other about.
Later.
Take care.